If everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying, and I'm not trying my hardest, and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
Fail. To fall short of success or achievement in something expected, attempted, desired, or approved. In life, we are taught to look at failing as the worst possible outcome to any situation, whether it is in academics, sports, or with our own personal goals. But what if I told you that failure is actually one of the most useful tools in reaching your goals? Don't get me wrong here. There are some negatives to failing, and too many failures one after another is something that you should try to avoid. But the act of failing actually teaches you how to succeed. To understand the benefits that come with failing, you must first develop the mindset to view each failure as a lesson. The best way to train your mind to view failure this way is to explore new ways of thinking, either through books, articles, or videos like this one. Our first reaction when faced with defeat is to dwell on the negative and get stuck contemplating on what went wrong. In this next clip, Professor Allison Ledgerwood breaks down why we do this and how we may be able to change this way of thinking.
I thought I would talk a little today about how people think. I'm fascinated by this question. I'm a social psychologist, which basically means I'm a professional people watcher. So this is what I do. I try to figure out how humans think and how we might be able to think better. And here's something I noticed a few years ago about how I seem to think. So here I am in the maximum of my artistic abilities as a stick figure, going along at baseline, and a paper gets accepted. I get this rush, this blip of happiness, and then I'm back to baseline by about lunchtime. A few days later, a paper might get rejected, and that feels pretty awful. And I wait for that blip to end, but somehow I just can't stop thinking about it. So what is going on here? Why does a failure seem to stick in our minds so much longer than a success? We all know intuitively that there are different ways of thinking about things. The same glass, the saying goes, can be seen as half full or half empty. So if you describe the glass as half full, this is called a gain frame because you're focusing on what's gained, then people like it. But if you describe the same glass as half empty, a loss frame, then people don't like it. Our view of the world has a fundamental tendency to tilt toward the negative. It's pretty easy to go from good to bad, but far harder to shift from bad to good. On a more personal level, what this research means to me is that you have to work to see the upside. Literally, this takes work. This takes effort. And you can practice this. You can train your mind to do this better. There's research out of UC Davis showing that just writing for a few minutes each day about things that you're grateful for can dramatically boost your happiness and well-being and even your health. We can also rehearse good news and share it with others. I think we can also work in our communities to focus on the upside. We can be more aware that bad tends to stick. One mean comment can stick with somebody all day, all week even. Our minds may be built to look for negative information and to hold on to it. But we can also retrain our minds if we put some effort into it and start to see that the glass may be a little more full than we initially thought.
Focus on the positives. Before you begin to learn from your failures, you must first lift yourself out of the hole that we all get into when we are faced with a loss. Failing sucks, and it's okay to feel upset, angry, or even sad, but you cannot dwell on those feelings. Once you give yourself the appropriate time to process your emotions, you must begin to see where you can improve. Let's look at the invention of the airplane, for example. The Wright brothers are credited with inventing the world's first successful motor-operated airplane. But before they were successful, they failed, and failed, and failed, and failed again. With each failure came the opportunity to improve on their design. each improvement leading them closer to their final success. This is the same way you need to approach your attempts at reaching your goals. If you are failing to hit the goals that you've set for yourself, take a step back, be honest with yourself, and take a look at what you can do differently. Changing your approach to a failing situation is the biggest key to turning your failures into a success. As a creative, it is important that you create the definition of what a failure is to you. It is very easy to get caught up in what the public may see as a failure, but the only standards and metrics you should focus are the ones that you set for yourself. Becoming wrapped up in what the public says is a failure is a waste of time because the opinions of the public change all the time. One day, you can be everyone's hero, and the next day, you're the villain. This has been proven recently with the reascension of Sha'Carri Richardson in the media. For those of you who don't know, Sha'Carri Richardson is a women's U.S. track and field athlete. A few years ago, she was banned from competing with the U.S. Olympic team in the Tokyo Olympics. These are some of the comments from a few years ago when she was being heavily criticized in the media. Today, Sha'Carri is celebrated as she recently won gold in the women's 100-meter final in the Track and Field World Championship. When you fail or have shortcomings, it reveals who is really there for you and who is really there to support you through both ups and downs. In life, you will face many failures, and with those failures will come valuable lessons. It is your job to adjust and to learn those lessons so that you do not make the same mistakes. Your failures are not permanent. They are only temporary defeats, so do not let temporary defeat cause you long-term pain. Always remember that failing is key to understanding your vision. We were driven to make this video because recently it felt like we've ran into multiple failures. Our summer merch drop on forthefamily.co did not go as smoothly as we planned due to multiple manufacturing issues and changed multiple dates during our release. We are also not as consistent as we like with our uploads, and to our standards, we view these as failures. But we are trying to work on these shortcomings, and every day we're trying to get better here at Friends and Family. We hope you guys enjoy the message that we wanted to get across in this video. We hope that you all learn to embrace your shortcomings and learn from them as well. If you want to keep up with us, follow our Instagram at Stop Hating Make Friends. We post on there regularly and have regular updates about when we're uploading new content or when new things are happening. If you're a creative and want to expand your network, join our Discord. The links to everything are in the description below. Hope you all have a great day.